Okay, so before moving next topic, let me know if you have any question. So do you have any question? Okay, so let's see how we will handle the checkbox in the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so in this example, you will see how we will handle the checkbox. So if you want to click on the checkbox or radio button, then what we need to do? We need to just mouse click. Means this is the just simple click. And second thing, we need to checkbox is selected or not. Only two actions we can do. One, select the checkbox. Second thing, sometimes we need to verify checkbox is selected or not. Similar type for the radio button, select the radio button as well as we need to verify radio button is selected or not. Okay, so let's see how we will do that. So if I want to check the checkbox, we need to get the locator of this checkbox, right? So checkbox is basically this is the input tag. So this is the checkbox, and it has a ID. We can capture the ID and create the CSS selector or XPath, or directly we can use the ID. Okay, so we can call driver.find element by dot CSS selector, and then call the click method. Element is not interactable. So basically, if I click on here in the home page, you can see checkbox is selected. So directly, it is this element is not interactable. Okay, so we can click on the home tab, means labels. This is the label button label, and here is input, and this is the label of the text. So we can create locators of the label, not the checkbox. Yeah, you can see here, this is checked. Now, if I want to verify any checkbox is checked or not, okay, then we have method. So for that, we need to get the locator of the input box, because input box has attribute where we can check element is selected or not, checked or not. Okay, so after the selection, call the driver.find element by dot xpath, or CSS selector. So here I am using CSS selector. So I will use the CSS by.css selector. Okay. And store this in a web element. So here there is a method dot is selected. So driver dot find element, then there is a is selected method. We can call this method and it will return the status of the checkbox is selected or not. Okay, so here initially before clicking on the checkbox, if we are trying to get the status, then this will give us the false. So after the checkbox is selected, if I will call the status, then it will give us the true, right? And let me run. So if we want to verify checkbox is selected or not, then what function we need to call? Is selected. So basically, its selected method will be responsible to check element is selected or not. Okay, let's see the status. Initially, we found false, and then once we click on checkbox, this is returning as the true. Clear? How we handle the checkbox? For the checkbox, we can do only two things. First, check the checkbox. Second, check the status. Checkbox is selected or not.
So, why you are using the Boolean status here?
Yeah, basically this method, we have already known what is the Boolean data type, right? In Java. Boolean data type is either true or false, right? So this function, each selected function will return the Boolean status. Its return type is a Boolean status, right? You can see. So if this method is returning a Boolean value, so which data type we need to store the value? Boolean.
Okay, thank you.
Right? So, if this method will return the integer type, then in that case we need to use integer. Okay. And here this is returning a Boolean value. That's why we need to store in a Boolean variable. Similar type, we have a radio button. Okay. And for the radio button, we have again here. So what we can do, we can check the status. Radio button is selected or not. One thing. Second thing we can do, we can check. Okay. So for the check, we need to call directly a normally we will call the click method, which will select the radio button. So I created here yes button, yes checkbox. So we need to call the driver dot find element CSS selector yes radio checkbox. And if we want to verify is selected or not, then we need to get the input box ID. So here we can use ID of input box to verify. Okay, driver dot find element. This is the checkbox. Okay, and we are trying to click in the label of the input box. Let's see. selected. Okay, and here is status. We can see first it gives false before selecting. Once we selected, then it is giving us true. Okay, so for radio button as well as the checkbox, we need same methods. Is selected for verification. Okay, and click method to select the radio button or checkbox. Clear? Or you have any question? Next is the BAPE table.
Hello.
Hello.
So I'm sorry, I have a question. So for the checkbox and the radio button, we can't use assert because there is no statement within the head H1.
No. Yeah, assertion is always we will use for verification, right? If you are doing some action, after the action, what is happened, we need to verify that. It totally depend upon our test cases, right? If in your test cases there is no verification, like suppose that you are going to submit a form, right? Like example, this is the add button. So here suppose that there is a checkbox, or maybe if I talk about the Facebook. If I click on the create account button, here we have enter username, surname, mobile number, password, select date of birth, click on the gender. Okay, after clicking or filling the form, we are not verifying. Okay, when we verify, here we will verify sign up successfully done or not. Means we will click on the sign up, then we will verify message user sign up successfully, right? So this is our test case. So verification is always depend upon the test case. In test cases, what we need to verify, we will add the steps. Here after the selected, we will not verify radio button is selected or not. Okay, because this is not here. Because if sign up is not done, this is mandatory field, we will not get the sign up because you can see red.
Yes.
Okay, so verification always depend upon the test cases. What in the test cases we have written, those part we need to verify.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Here, if I want to suppose that there is a registration form, right? And we have one test case. The test case is verify users registered successfully. Then in that case, we will not verify user is able to enter the text or not, right? We will fill the form and then we will submit and verify user is created. Okay. So verification is always what we have mentioned in the test cases. Accordingly, we need to add the verify. So there is one web tables. So when we add something, it will add in the web table. So this is a very simple form. For each field, you need to use the send keys, right? It will enter the text. We have already discussed the functions. So there is no any other different function we need to use. Just call the driver.find element and send key, use the send keys function. Now, the main challenge here, how we verify the data in the tables. Okay, suppose that we added something. So let me first add. So this is the main code, right? It's common code. So let's copy the URL and paste here. If you want to add something, first of all, I need to click on the add button. So driver click button. Okay, just normally calling driver.find element by .id and then click methods. Once we click, it will open the new window, and here we can fill the details. So this is the input, id equal to first name. So we can call here driver.find element by .id, send keys, like Rahul. Next is the last name, ID is there. Again, we can call driver.find element by .id, then here last name Kumar. If we have email ID, it has also ID, right? User email. We can call same line of code. Okay, driver.find element by .id and then send keys. Here we can give the email ID. Like I'm using rahulkumar.com. Okay, then we can fill the age, salary and department. So we have also age as a ID. So call the, so I'm just repeating the code. Suppose that age is 30. Next we have salary. Okay. Then we have department. Like QA automation. Okay. So these are simple code calling the driver.find element, passing the locators, performing the click, and then remaining we need to use the send keys methods. And then we need to click on submit button. IDs submit we have. So that key. So if I run this program, it will add the user Rahul, okay, and it will reflect in the table. Rahul Kumar is added. Now next we need to verify Rahul is added in the table, right? What we need to do, we need to verify Rahul is added in the table. Okay, so how we do that? How we verify the Rahul is added in this? So better we can first verify, get the email ID. So this is going to row and column wise, right? You can see this complete code is under div. This is one div, and this is a table div. If I go next, this is also tables. Okay, and these are the row. First is div is the header. It's mentioned here RT header, right? This is the header, but we don't need to go with header because we need to capture the data. So data is the next table. This is the T body, and within the T body we have multiple dips. Okay, one dips is equal to one row, right? You can see. So if I will capture the rows, number of rows, how many rows are there, then we can go from top to bottom, like email ID, first email, then second email, third, fourth, like this. If once we found the email ID, then we will break the loops, okay, and verify the data. So what we can do first we can create a locators which will give us the all the rows data. Then we have div. Okay, so there are 94 divs, but we need first one. So I'm using arrow, right? So this will give us the total 10 divs, 10 rows. We can also create XPath. Let me create XPath double slash asterisk slash div. Okay, so we have one div is one row, but we need to go with the column, email column. So where is the email column? If I expand this div, there is another div, and you can see there are multiple divs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each div contains one column. Okay, it means we need to go here, div, then again div. So by default, it will give us the first div, right? But we need to go which div? Fourth one. So we can pass here the index number 4, like this. Now you can see it will traverse to the email column, right? Traversing only the email column. So there are 10 columns. In email columns, there are 10 rows. So we are getting 10 values. Write this. Okay. Now, this is XPath we can create. And here, call the driver dot find element by dot XPath. So if we are calling the driver dot find element, okay, and we have multiple elements. Here you can see this element give us the multiple elements. There are 10 elements whose locator is same. So if we are using driver dot find elements, so driver dot find elements will return a single web element object, right? Web element, right? Which element it will give us? There are 10 elements, right? This locator give us the 10 result, right? You can see here 10 result. So if we are calling the driver dot find element, so because the driver dot find element return a single web element object, it will not give you all the 10. So which element it will give? Okay. So if we are using driver dot find elements, it will always give the first element object. If we have multiple elements, okay, or single element, always it will give us the first element object. So, but here if I will use the driver dot find elements, so only we can get the first element object. But we need all the 10 elements object because we want to traverse and check where is the email ID, which email ID we added, that is exist or not. So we need to traverse complete email column. So how we do that? In that case, there is another methods, driver dot find elements. What is the method name? Earlier we are using driver dot find elements. We have one more methods, driver dot find elements. So this will give us the all the elements object. Means now we will get all the 10 element object and we can store in a list variable. So now it will convert a list. Okay, so list is just kind of array. So this is the list of all the web element. Now here we can get the 10 elements. So if I print this size of the element, you will see 10. 10, right? So manually, if we want to verify data is available here or not, what data we added that is exists in the table or not. So manually, we can just go and row wise and we can check data is available here. But in automation, how we do that? Okay. So what I am trying to do, I am going to traverse because we enter the Rahul at .kumar, this email ID. So we can traverse here the email IDs. Just traverse for each loop, dev element, elements. Suppose that this is the elements variable, so elements, and we are using for each loop here, and then we can get the text using the get text method. So I am iterating here and getting the text here and storing in email address variable. Okay, so what we are doing, first I traverse the first column row and we are getting here this and stored here. Once it's stored, we need to check if email address dot equals. So to verify the two string values, array string has a value of methods dot equals. So this method will verify the two values. So what we can do here, we can verify values. If the value what we are getting equal to Rahul.Kumar, then we can mark here status equal to true and break the loop because we found the result, right? So we will not go and traverse. And here we can define Boolean status equal to false initially. Code is going little bit complex, but try to understand the concept. What we are doing here, initially I created one Boolean variables. Why we are creating one Boolean variables? So that we can store here result. If we found the email ID, we will change the status value equal to false. It means now the Rahul.Kumar Gmail ID exists in the table, and then I will break the loops. And at the end, I will use assert true, okay, and pass the status. And what more additional method we can pass? Email not exist in table. Clear? Just simple line. Verified passed. Let me change. Instead of Rahul, I'm going to check Rajkumar email ID. Okay, so in that case, our test will fail because there is no Rajkumar at the rate Gmail ID is present here. So in that case, we will get failure. So let's see. So if we want to get multiple elements object, then we will call driver.findElements. You can see this is failed. What message we are getting? Email not exist in the tables.
Sadik, I have one question.
Okay.
When we are running this, every time we are trying to add this a new record, Rahul Kumar, why is
The
it
data is
still
not there,
adding?
right?
Yeah, why is it only still adding one only? I mean, there is only one record showing up.
You mean like record is not exist. Previous record is going to delete, right?
I mean, it's only one record and we are adding every time. So I thought probably.
Yeah, so this is the demo application. This is not a real application. So they are not keeping the data in their database. They are flashing the data. Right?
Oh, right.
Because this is the demo application. If multiple team members are using, so there is a lot of data is added, right?
Okay. Right.
Because globally anyone can use this demo application. So,
So
that's why they are.
Sorry.
They are not storing this data in the database. Temporary basis they are storing. Next time if I refresh, data will come.
Okay. Okay. So next time it goes away. Yeah. Got it.
Yes, only 3 data is permanent, other is temporary.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Sadiq,
Okay, so
I
yes,
have a question. Can you please explain again the XPath? How
this
did
expert, right?
yes.
Okay. So basically here, what is our target? Our target is to get the email column address, emails column elements, right? So what we can do, go to the email column, and if I go here, so this is one row. This is kind of table, one row, right? So we need to traverse row wise row, and this is also part of the row. We need to traverse row by row, and within the row, we need to go in the 4th column. Okay, so if you want to go here, then we need to go one up label, right? Because we want to traverse rows. So we go in the tables, capture the locators of the table, right, which contains the complete table. This one, forget the email ID header part, because header is we are not going to include in our data, so that row will not exist. So just copy this. Then we have here divs. So div is basically rows. So I started from here, then this is the divs. Divs means one div is equivalent to one row. Then we need to go here. Within the div, we need to go the 4th column. So there are 2 divs, right? And then we have columns. So div, again div, div. So in which divs we need to go? We need to go in the 4th div. So we can use here sparse CSS, tnth type of type. So this is the CSS selector. Okay, this is equivalent to XPath. And if you want to create XPath here, then XPath will start from / asterisk, or we can use the div, and then here @ okay, and this will replace greater than will replace with the slash, and here nth child, this will replace with the index number, like this. Okay, you can see. So this is the XPath, CSS XPath, and previous I created the CSS selectors. Both you can see. So we started from the parent level, / then row, and then columns. So we are traversing from top to bottom. Yes, so start keeping the practice of the XPath. So we have a lot of concept in the XPath, right? Sometimes we will not get directly the IDs, values, right? So there is some combinations we need to use to create the locators. If you are getting directly the ID, name, or some attribute which will uniquely identify, that will good. But some cases we are not getting the ID. We are not getting the details, any attribute which will uniquely define. So we need to traverse from the parent to the child level. So here in this case, if you go, you can see RT class name is same for all the elements. Role is also same. Style is also same. So you cannot use any attribute here. Okay. So if you go here, this is also same. You cannot use any attribute. If you will use attribute, it will give you a duplicate value, not unique value. This RT group is a column. This RT body, this is the unique, because there is no RT body, T body, RT head, and this is the RT tables. So it means we need to use the RT table or head or body to identify the locators. Any other question? So what is the use of driver.findElement? And if I ask what is the difference between the driver dot find element and the driver dot find elements, what is the difference between both elements, both methods?
It is a single element web element used in find element, and a multiple web element use the find
Yeah,
element.
this is the one difference. Find elements will return the list of the web element. You can say multiple. Better you can use the list of the web element, right? So, and find element will return a single web element object. Which one? The first one. Okay. Driver dot find element will always return the first element object, where driver dot find elements will return the all the elements object. Okay. So suppose that element is not present. If we are trying to use the driver dot find element, but element is not available, like suppose that here we are going to pass the index number 20. So index number 20 is not available, and this will give us the 0. So what will happen if we have element that is not exist? What will happen with the driver dot find elements? Let's see. Let me comment this code, add code, and show you the difference. Here, I'm running that. If we are using driver dot find element, in that case, if element is not available, you will see the error, no such element exception, right? What exception we will get? No such element exception. But in the case of driver dot find element, if the element is not available, then what we will get? We will get the 0 element. Means the size of 0. We will not get the exception. Exception we are getting here, email ID is not exist, because this loop gives us the false. Okay, but here we are not getting any error. So here the next difference, driver dot find element. If element is not available, we will get no such element exception. In case of driver dot find elements, we will get empty list. Okay, means 0 element. That's why you can see size we are getting 0. Size is 0. Okay, there is no exception we will get. Let me comment this and show you we will not get any error. Here, this will not give us the error. If element is not available, it gives us the empty list. But if we are using driver dot find element, in that case, if element is not exist, we will get no such element exception. This is the second difference. Okay, getting 0. But if I use here driver dot find element, not elements, okay, you will see we will get exception. Okay, so what is the difference between driver dot find element and driver dot find elements? So we'll explain. Ambika.
The driver dot find elements return the first element, and
Okay.
driver dot find elements return the set of elements, and
Not set. Yes.
like the value.
Actually, in the
List,
Java, right, there is
elements.
another data type that is known as the set. So if you are calling the set, so this will not return you set of element. This will give you a list of elements.
List of elements, yeah.
Yes.
A list of elements, and if no elements is found, then it returns 0, like exception.
In which case you will get exception, and in which case you will not get exception. In which case you will get exception.
Find a single element.
Single, it's not single, you will call the driver dot find element.
Find
Or
element.
let's say find element.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
in find elements, we will get the
Mm.
blank list, zero
Blank
element. Okay, you can see here we are getting error. So this is the difference between, and the driver dot find elements. This will be very useful when we are verifying the links. Suppose that we want to verify all the links what is available in the page that is working fine. In that case, we will capture the links by using the driver dot find elements method. Okay, so it will give us the all the elements object. So if we need to get the multiple elements object, then always we need to use the driver dot find elements. Clear? Okay, now we need to handle upload and download. Okay, so there is a button. If I click here, it will download the page images. Okay, and if you want to upload, then just click on the image links and we open. It will add the files. Okay, so sometime in the applications, in some forms, some places, in your test cases, maybe you will get the download and upload functionality. Okay, let's see how we will handle the download and upload. So for download, just call the directly driver dot find element method and click. Okay, so we need to create the locator. So here is ID. So we can create the ID, get the ID, download. Okay, so driver dot find element by dot. Yes. Okay, so clicked and downloaded. Okay, so now if we want to verify file is downloaded or not, for that we need to write the Java code. Selenium will not provide any functionality, anything which will verify the files download from the download folders, right? For that we need to write some Java code to check the file is exist in the download folders. Second thing, if we want to upload, okay, so normally if you go here in the browse choose file button, you will see this is the input tag. Okay, so and there is an ID. We can create the locators, input type, input tag, and you will see type equal to files. So this is the HTML features. Using that features, they can create the browse button. So in this case, we will not click on the buttons. What we will do, because if we click on the button, it will open the new pop-up window. Okay, like if I click here, it will open the new dialog window, and this window Selenium will not handle because this is not part of the DOM. This is not part of the HTML code. This is part of the Windows utilities. So Selenium will not able to handle such window. So for that, what we need to do, we don't need to click on the choose file button. Directly call here send keys method, okay, to type the files. There is no input box, you can see, but here send keys will work because it is the input tag. So let's see how we will do that. So copy the downloads path and then image file. So this file I am going to upload, copy this. Okay, so now let me run. You can see file is downloaded while clicking on download button, and one path is injected here as well as the file is available here. It means what send keys we are using, that is added the file here. Okay, so if we have file upload functionality in the application, then that functionality Selenium can handle by using send keys methods. Okay, you don't need to click on the browse button. If you will click browse button, that window will not have handled by Selenium, because Selenium is a for web-based application automation tools. It will not handle any UI which is related to the desktop. Okay, anything what we can see in the and create the locators in the HTML, we can handle that. So here we need to call directly normal click methods as well as send keys methods. Okay, any question here?
Sadik, if you don't mind, can you please show us how to verify if the file is downloaded?
Yeah, there we need to write Java code, right? And I'm not such a condition to write the code because I have not explained the Java much. If I will explain, so I'm not sure how much team can get, right? But this is very simple. If you want, this is very simple, right? We need to call the file handling, right? And using the file, we can check file is exist. There we need to write some code.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is not, if you have Java concept, right? And if you try to get the code, you can get easily.
Okay.
Check
got it.
file in folder. There is a file exist method in Java. Actually, I have not explained much Java, right? So most of the team members, they are not aware even push concept. So create the file object, pass the location where the file is downloaded, okay, and just call it normal function if f.exist methods, right? So
Okay.
file.exist. So it will give us the if file exists in the location, it will give us the true. If file is not exist, it will give us the false.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. And also you can try to add some loop. Maybe some file is heavy file that is taking time to download. So for that, you can create a loop for given time. Like you can mention try 5 times, 10 times, but how many times you want. Okay. And then keep trying to check the file is exist or not, up to suppose that 2 minutes or 1 minute. Okay. After the 1 minute, if file is not exist, you can mark the fail.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Because some file taking much time to download, file is very heavy, so like suppose the few
Large.
MB,
Yeah.
yes, large, and your code is going to check before the file is downloaded successfully. So in that case, it will give us the failure, but this is not actual failure, right? Because
So
the
how
file
much
is still
the
downloaded.
maximum time we should input?
Yeah,
there?
you can give,
How
there is
much?
no limit, right?
Okay.
But we will get some hit and try. Like suppose that your file is taking to download 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Then in that case, you will go up to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
But maybe if file is downloading in 1 minute and we are trying to add
Wait
the
for
loop
5
for
minutes, yeah.
30 minutes or 10 minutes, right? This is not fruitful. Because
Okay.
maybe there is some defect, file is not downloaded. Okay. But your code is trying to check up to 10 minutes,
Hmm.
right? So better we need to judge how much time file can take to download, okay? Based on those times we need to mention.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sir, will you explain the try-catch method too?
Try catch. Sorry,
Yes.
you mean try catch, right? Yeah, who is asking? Hello. Yeah, try if you're looking try catch now. So today I will not explain because that is part of the Java. So we will cover all those topics. So maybe from next session we will continue to Java. We left Java from very basic, but we need to go with more like oops concept, exception handling, right? String functions. I will discuss all those things. Abstraction, polymorphism. Okay, sometimes you can see some element is taking some time to appear. Like here it will comes 5 seconds, okay, to appear. So visible after 5 seconds. Visible. And suppose that we want to get the text of the element. Visible after. Here we added 5 second wait. Okay, that's why it's wait to the appear dislocator. But we can also, if that is taking much time to appear, then we can use the WebDriver wait method. So this is the explicit wait. Here we can pass the time, then duration. Okay, and then call the WebDriver dot wait dot until, and then expected condition expected conditions, not condition. And then we can call here visibility of the element. Visibility of, and here we can pass the element. So you, in this way, using this approach, explicit wait, we can apply the conditions and it will wait up to 10 seconds to visual these locators. If we need to pass the more times, we can pass, increase the time, and it will wait only for this particular locators. So for any dynamic things which is taking much time to load to appear on the UI, we can use the WebDriver wait for visibility. So these are just normal, enter the text and verify and click. So there is no additional things. Okay, sometime we need to capture the screenshot of the page. Okay, why we need? Sometimes like we are running the test, we need to capture the screenshot for evidence purpose. Some companies are also looking, mostly the companies where there is an audit, right? Like health insurance based companies. So they are always need the evidence for we have executed the test or not. Okay, so in that case, we can capture all the pages screenshot and store in a folders or convert into some reporting format to share those folders. Okay, so that they can verify our test is done successfully by covering all the pages. And some time, like in the mostly, we are capturing the screenshot of our failed test. Okay, so that we can debug and verify where is the failure, because we can see the exceptions, error message, as well as the screenshot. Screenshot means where the test is getting failed, we capture the screenshot and store in folders, right? So in that way, we can identify also why the test is failing by seeing the screenshot and without navigating the whole the test. So test complete will provide, Selenium will provide a options where we can capture the screenshot. Okay, like suppose that we navigated to alert and now we want to capture the screenshot. So we have one Chrome driver object. Okay, this object we need to typecast in a different class. So Selenium will provide a class take screenshot. Here the typecasting means converting the object from one class into another class. So this is known as the typecasting. TC object. So I typecasted. Okay, so typecasted driver object into the take screenshot object. Now TC's take screenshot is one object. Here we have method get screenshot. So output dot file and then give the file. and we can store, because this will return a file object. File object we can store in a file object. File one. Okay, so this is one file which we capture the screenshot of the page and store in a file. We need another file like source file where we want to store, we want to copy this file. So we can create a new file object, screenshot.png. So this is my screenshot.png file where I am going to copy this. So it will generate at the root of the project, and this is the object file too. Okay, and then we need to call, there is a class file utils class. It has a copy methods, copy file methods. Okay, where we can pass the source file and target file. So our source is file one, which will help to capture the files of the current page screenshot, and then second object we created where we want to write that screenshot, and using the file util copy we are calling this, and it will copy. Okay, now let me run, and you will see one screenshot.png will created at the root of the folder which will capture the current page screenshot. If I refresh the page project, okay, you can see there is screenshot.png is created. If I open, you will see the page. Okay, this is the alert page. Okay, so in this way we can capture the screenshot. Okay, how we capture the screenshot? There is a take screenshot interface. Okay, so we need to typecast. Typecasting means you are converting the driver object into the take screenshot object like this, and then we can call TC object and then get the screenshot methods. So here we need to mention which type of output we want. When it capture the screenshot, which type of output we need. So I mention here output dot files. It means it will give us the output in a file format, file object. So that we can store in a file object. Okay, then created another file object where we want to copy the content of the image, right? So this is the target image, and then calling the file utils. There is a method copy file method, and which will override one file object into another files. So these 3-4 lines needed to capture the screenshot of the page. So you can see the click me button screenshot is captured. So this feature is introduced in the Selenium 4. Before that, this feature was not available in the Selenium 3, where we can capture the screenshot of the element. Okay. So for this, what we need to do, if we want to capture the screenshot of the full screen, then we need to call the take screenshot interface, right? And convert the driver object into the take screenshot object. And using this TC object, we can capture the screenshot. But in the for element case, we can directly call the element get screenshot method, and same thing we need to pass the output as a file and store in the file object, then create another file object where we need to override when we need to copy, call the copy method and paste the file3 images into the button.png. So in this way, we can also capture the screenshot of the web element object. Clear?
Adam,
Are you have any question?
I'm sorry, can you please explain again why did we convert the driver to TC object?
Yeah, basically that get screenshot here means this method is available in the take screenshot interface, right? This is not available in the drive any driver like Chrome or Firefox. There's no take screenshot.
Okay,
Yeah, this is implemented in remote driver. Basically, here we are using the Chrome driver, but if we are working, we always need to use this web driver, right? So that we can easily convert. And I can also give an example in Selenium example, right? Here we created web driver object. So web driver is object is parallel to the take screenshot, right? So that's why we need to typecast.
Satyak, sorry to interrupt, but why did we use private here?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use any things like public or private, but private is this is accessible only within the class,
Okay,
right?
got
Not outside the class. So
Okay.
this is the access modifier. So I have not explained this in Java. So once we will explain, it will clear. But as of now, you can understand this. Private means this variable can access only within the class,
Okay, thank you.
not outside the class. Okay, so Seth, you asked question, right? Why we are typecasting?
yes,
Okay, so you can remember this question when I will cover the inheritance concept, right? I will come and at that time I will explain why we need typecast. But currently here we can directly use, okay, it will work without typecast using driver object. But why we need typecast and when we need typecast? No. Okay, I change here, right? This. So it need to Chrome driver and it will work. Okay, now no need to typecast. If we are storing our driver object into the Chrome driver or remote driver, okay, or Firefox or IH driver, then there is no need to typecast. But if we are storing this in a web driver object, then we need to typecast. So I will explain later. You can note down this question because if I will explain, it will not clear. Once I will explain the inheritance concept, then if I will come here, then it will clear for you. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so any question here? So all the important features, what is required in it is complete, all the functionalities, okay, I have covered. There is one thing pending, that is JavaScript executor. Okay, so let me show you. Like suppose that if we want to scroll the page, okay, so Selenium will not provide any functions which will help to scroll the page up and down. Okay, so we need to write some JavaScript code. Why the JavaScript? Because in the application, in the browser, we can execute the JavaScript code. Okay, each browser has an interpreter which will help to execute the JavaScript code. Okay, that's why we need to rewrite the JavaScript code which will help to scroll the page. How we do that? JavaScript code you can also write and try here on the browsers itself, like there is a console. Okay, we'll go to the console. So here we can write the code like we are calling. You can see all the function is automatically coming. Windows.scroll. Okay, and then pass here the coordinates, how much you want to scroll. Page is scroll right down. Let me run again. Down. If we want to scroll, if we want to execute the JavaScript code, any JavaScript code in our test, then how we do that? So in that case, we have JavaScript executor similar to the take screenshot. We have JavaScript executor interface, and here we need to typecast JavaScript executor the driver object into JavaScript executor variable. Then call the js.execute methods where we can pass the JavaScript code. Okay, and run the code. So now when this JavaScript code will execute on the page, so automatically, like here we executed the JavaScript code, you can see the page is installed, right? So when the driver will inject that JavaScript code and execute on the browser, so page will automatically scroll down. Let me run and show you. Yeah, page is installed. Okay, and next we have some more options where we can call the JavaScript executor, like any kind of JavaScript test. Like suppose that if we want to click on the download folder, download buttons, and click is not working, right? Sometime we will face challenge when we try to click on the using the normal click method Selenium, that will not work properly, and mostly we face this issue in the IE browser. Okay, so in that case we can use the JavaScript executor and to execute the JavaScript code, so that will perform the click. How we do that? JavaScript executor. Here we call the arguments one minute. Okay, argument 0 dot click. Okay, first argument we need to pass the argument 0 and click, and second argument we need to pass the drive wave element object where we need to click. Like suppose that I want to click on the download button, so let's capture the locator. There is the ID we can pass here, driver dot find element by dot id. Okay, now if I will run, right, this function will click on the download button, and this is clicked by the JavaScript code, so it will always work. You can see file is downloaded, right? Automatically installed. So this is one example. Another example, like click example. If we are facing issue, click is not working, then we can use this type of syntax code like JavaScript executor code that will always execute and perform the click operation.
Element also in WebDriver. We can
Yeah,
use
here
this one, right?
yeah, we can use this separately or directly we can pass both the work. Storing variable first, then passing here the element. Both will work. Okay, so this is a click. And also if we want to scroll to the view, right? Like suppose that we want to scroll the, if you go to the view of this element, sometimes our element is hidden, right? And some add some bars, like here you can see this is bar. If I try to click on this, it will not work, right? Because this is coming under the adds. So if there is any possibilities to scroll the view, we can call the scroll view using JavaScript executor. So let's scroll up to the interaction. So this is interaction. We can create locators and div, text, interaction. Okay, and let me remove this scroller. Calling to the web element. Next part. This code pass here element. Now instead of click, here we need to call dot scroll into view. Let me check this. Actually forget the exact syntax. Here scroll into view, and then we need to pass here true. Scroll into view. Okay, so let me run.
The R is missing in scroll, Sadik.
Sorry.
Scroll SCR. R is missing.
R.
Oh,
SCR, yeah.
Yes.
that's why you can see I'm getting error because this element is not executed. So now if I run again, so sometimes we also need to execute the JavaScript code, right? If you are familiar with this function, you can execute any JavaScript code. Just pass in the methods. Yeah, you can see it automatically installed, right? Because it's installed to view to for the interaction locator. So what is the JavaScript executor? JavaScript executor is a one interface like which will helps to execute the JavaScript code on the page. Any code what you have written, just pass in the double quotes here, like we are passing, it will execute. Okay, let me know if you have any question.
So the arguments and with index 0 is fixed, or we can change that index.
Yeah, index basically this 0 will refer to the, mostly this is fixed, right? It will represent the first element. So
Okay.
okay, so let's take a few minute break, like 5 minutes, and then I will start again, like continue with Java. Okay. Hello. So what is the OOPS concept of the Java? Okay, so any programming language which will support below classes, object, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction. Okay. Okay, so any programming language will support polymorphism, classes, object, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstractions. Okay, that programming language is known as the object-oriented programming language, that is OOPS. So any programming language which will support these features, classes, object, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction, right? That programming language is known as the object-oriented programming language. Okay, so Java is supported the programming language like OOPS-based programming language because the Java supported all these features which are available here. Everything what we are seeing, we need a classes as well as we need to object. Without object, we cannot execute the test. Okay, so what is the inheritance? So we have already discussed about the classes and object. Now I am going to discuss about the inheritance. What is the inheritance? So inheritance is a concept, okay, by which one class can acquire the properties of another class. Okay, one class can acquire the properties of another class. Like suppose that we have one class A Suppose that this is animal and the class we have a dog. Okay, so there is some common features, right, which are available in the animals, like each animal can run, can eat, okay, but there are some features which are specific to the animals. Like if I am talking about the dog can bark, but cat cannot bark. Dog and cat both can run and eat, but dog has special features, cat has special features like meow. So here if I want to define all the methods what a dog can do, so we have a method run. Suppose that here printing running. Then we have here eat. Eating. Then we have here method bark. Barking. Okay, so these methods are defined here. But now if I am talking about the cat, so I have created one class. This is cat. What a can cat do? Can cat do run as well as the eat? But cat cannot do like barking. There's a meow. Meow. Okay. So are you seeing any duplicacy here?
Eat and run function.
Eat and run are function are duplicate, right? So this is available in dog and cat both. Suppose that we have here we define 10 animal classes. So each animal has two features, run and eat. Okay. So currently I am only taking two examples of the animals. Animal can run and eat. There are some other examples also available. Okay, which is common for each and every animals. So this run and eat both are a duplicate. So it means now if we have multiple classes of the animals, all the animals has two methods, run and eat, it means we are here duplicate of the code. Okay, to reduce this duplicacy of the code, interface is introduced in the Java. What is the purpose of interface? Interface main purpose is to remove the duplicacy of the code. Okay, and what is the interface? Sorry, not interface, inheritance. What is the inheritance? Inheritance is basically a concept by which one class can acquire the properties of another class. Like we have here animals class. If dog or cat can acquire the methods which is defined in animal class automatically. Okay, this is known as the inheritance. So inheritance, if we are talking about the parent and child, there is also a relationship that is inheritance. In real example, if we are talking parents and childs, where child can access the properties of its parent. Okay, directly child can access. But if any person who is any child who is not directly like son or daughter of the person cannot access the properties, but a child means here the son or daughter, they can directly access their parents' properties because they have rights. Similar type here in the Java, inheritance is a concept by which child class can access the properties of the parent class. Okay, it means one class can acquire the properties of another class This relationship is known as the inheritance. Okay, how we make the inheritance here, how we make this relationship. So we can use the extends keyword and give the class name like this animal. So now the dog can acquire all the properties which are defined in animal class automatically. So if I move these two methods in animal class, okay, so still dog has three methods. Here we define one methods, right? Two methods it will acquire from the animal class. So how many methods dog has? Three methods now. Still there are three methods. Similar type, if we make the inheritance here with the cat animals, and we can remove now these two methods. Okay, these two methods cat can also acquire from animal class. Now we have all the common methods, common properties what we have in the animal we can define in animal class. Other animal classes like dog, cat, maybe a few more if you want to create, like tigers, okay, lion. So all those classes will inherit the animal class. It means both classes in other classes we need to define the run and eat method. That class will automatically acquire from the animal class. So now you can see we are removing the duplicacy of the code in our Java file. Okay, clear? What is the inheritance? Inheritance is a basically process by which one class can acquire the properties of another class, right? And if I am talking about the here Selenium WebDriver, in the Selenium WebDriver, there is a parent class, a remote driver, okay, and other classes. This is the parent class, main class. Other classes like for the Firefox, Chrome, and Edge or other drivers, then there is a child classes, Chrome driver. There is also one driver level Chromium is there, okay, and then Chromium will inherit the Chrome browser. One more level is there, but Firefox driver will directly inherit to the remote driver. And similar type we have Edge driver, Safari driver. Okay, and if I go here, you will see also this inheritance concept. Let me show you. Okay, this is the Chrome driver. If I go here, you can see Chrome driver extends the Chromium driver. This is not directly inherited to the remote driver. There is a one class that is Chromium. Chromium is available here. Then Chromium will extend to the remote driver. Chromium extends the remote driver. This is available in the internal library. Similar type, if I go with the Firefox, you can see the Firefox parent class is the remote driver. What is in remote driver? Remote driver contains there are a lot of methods, common methods are available, which is applicable for all the browsers. If they are not using inheritance approach, then these codes will go in duplicates. Okay, get current URL, get text screenshot, print methods, right? Find element. So all these methods you can define here. And this method is common for each and every browser classes. If I go Edge, it will also directly extend to the not remote. It will extend the Chromium. Chromium will extend to the remote driver. Okay, so why we are using inheritance? Inheritance we are using to reduce the duplicacy of the code. Otherwise, we will get same code in different classes. If we want to remove the duplicacy, then we will go with the inheritance concept. Okay, so now if I will use the suppose that we have a test class, and here we have main methods. Okay, if I will create the dog object, right, want to access the dog methods, we can create an object of dog, right? This is clear. If we want to get the method, call the method of the dog class, then we need to create the dog object. You can see here bark methods, fine. This is directly defined in the dog class, but this eat method is coming from the animal. Similar type run method is also coming from the animal class. Okay, if I run this, you will see all the three methods will execute. Similar type, we can use the cat class. And can call all the three methods. Cat method is not a bark method because bark method is defined in a dog class. Dog is not a parent of cat. Cat parent is animal, right? So, but cat has one more method. Yeah. Barking, eating, running, meow, eating, running. Okay, so what is the inheritance? Inheritance is a basically process by which one class can acquire the properties of another class. Like here, you can see the cat and dog can acquire the properties of animal class. This is clear? How many types? Yes.
I'm sorry to bother you, Sadiq. I just want, if it's a silly question, we are able to create the object of dog and cat here just because they are in the same package com.oops, right? We can even create, like if it would have been in com.method and we could have called the dog, we could have created the object of dog and cat from there also.
Then what is your question? I
No.
cannot get.
Yeah, my question is, we are easily able to create the dog and cat object here
Yeah.
on this page because it's in the package com.oops. If it would have been in com.method or anything, we would have called the same way.
Yeah. Here we are able to easily create the Chrome driver object, right?
Yeah.
Are we getting any issue? No. Right? So now, if your class is in different package, like here in Chrome is not in the package com.test, similar type of dog, right? Dog is in the present in the same package com.oops. Okay, so in that case, we can create object. Also in the Selenium object, we can create Chrome driver object, we can create.
Yeah, got it. Sorry.
But the difference between here and there, if your class is in different package, then you need to import. Okay, like here we imported.
Got it.
Okay, but if that is in the same class, then there is no need to import it. That's why here dog and cat is not imported. But if I move this in a different package, like I am going to move in the where package, so you can see automatically dog and cat is imported. If you will not import the dog and cat, then it will not work. Why? Because the compiler will looking the dog and cat in the same package com.where. This is not available, right? So what you need to do, you need to import this. When we are importing, it means we are telling the compiler this dog and cat is available under this location. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
If your library is available in your project, right, you can create the object. But if that is not available, you will not able to create. Similar type. If I will try to create here the Chrome driver object, it will not work. Because the Chrome Selenium library is not added here. Even if I try to import, right, we will not get the reference. Why? Because the Selenium is not included in this Java September project, right? In this project, we added the jar files or everything in under the September 2020 project. Okay. Now coming to the type of the interface. How many types of interface are available in Java and which one is supported in Java? So there are first interface. This is the single interface. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about interface. This is the inheritance. Okay, so first is if we have one parent and one child, so this is known as the single inheritance. Okay, like here we have one parent. If we have only one parent, like animal, and one child, if we have, then this is one relationship. Here we have one animal. Suppose that this is animal and this is dog. So if we have one parent, one child, then this is known as the single type of inheritance. If we have one parent, like here animal, and two childs, B, suppose that dog, and C, suppose that cat. We have two or more than, you can say two. Okay, one parent has multiple childs, then this is known as the multi-level inheritance. Okay, this is the multi-level inheritance. Okay, next type of inheritance. If we have animal A class, animal, and then we have a child, like here D, B, we have dog, and the child we have, like suppose that C, dog baby. So three, we have animal, dog, and baby dog. So B interface class can inherit A class animal, and where B class is inherited by the C. So C inherited to the B, B inherited to the A. So there are multiples. Okay, so there are hierarchical. So hierarchical interface. So three type of inheritance supported by the Java. There is one more type of inheritance, and this is not supported by Java, where we have multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance basically like when we have one child and two parents. So there is a class A and class B. This is the both parent and C is a child. So if C inherited to the A as well as the B, then this is known as the multiple inheritance. Okay, so this is known as the multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is basically inheritance where there is one child class and that can inherit multiple classes, multiple parent class. So this is not supported in the Java. So this is not supported in Java. In other programming language like Python, C++, this is supported, but in Java, this is not. Multiple inheritance is not supported. So how many type of inheritance supported by Java? 3. Single, multi-level, as well as the hierarchical inheritance. Okay, you're right, mentioned. This is the inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance, single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and multiple inheritance is not supported by Java. Only 3 type of inheritance is supported by Java. If I am talking about the, then we can call here baby dog, one more class, and if this class is going to extend dog class. Okay, like this. We can here define some common methods, some methods which is not related to dog. Okay, so we can define here. So this is clear. What is the inheritance and how many type of inheritance? Which inheritance is supported by Java? Which one is not supported by Java? Okay. Now the question is why the multiple inheritance is not supported in the Java. Okay, so this is the next question. So like suppose that we have a class A and we have a class B and this is the class C. A, B, and C. So suppose that we have one method here. This is run methods and its functionality is different. Okay, here we have different functionality. We have mentioned different logic of code, or maybe you can see we have add method here, which will add the 2 integers. Here we have add methods, which will add 2 strings. Okay, now C inherited the both classes, class A and class B. So it means there are 2 parents of C classes. Now in the some place we are creating the object of C class and calling the method C.add. Which method will invoke? Can you tell me? If I will try to call the C.add, so which method will invoke? The method which are coming from the A class or the method which are coming from the B class? So there is a confusion, right? C is not able to handle this because C get confused. There is an ambiguity. So this is the ambiguity issue where 2 methods are defined in this parent classes, different parent classes. So there is an ambiguity issue, and to For this ambiguity issue, in Java, multiple inheritance is removed. Due to this ambiguity issue, right? In Java, multiple inheritance is removed. Okay, why the multiple inheritance is removed in the Java? Multiple inheritance is removed the Java due to the ambiguity issue. What is the ambiguity issue? Ambiguity issue is if one class has two parents and if same method is defined, means method with same name is defined. So this is the ambiguity issue. C is not able to call the methods, right? Clear? Okay, so let me ask some questions. Okay, what is the inheritance and how many type of inheritance in Java? Yeah, 1 minute. Let me call the name. Husam, right?
Yes, Husham, you said?
Yeah, Husam.
Yes, the inheritance is when the class acquire the another class properties.
Okay.
And there's three type of inheritance, which is single and multi-level, and the
Okay.
yeah, multi-level, and the other one, the third one that, yeah.
Okay. So Mansi, can you tell me which type of inheritance is not supported in Java and why?
The multi-level inheritance is not supported because
Why this is not supported?
yeah, because there were ambiguity issues. I mean, if there are two parents, we won't be knowing which method would be invoked and which method to follow up.
Okay. Okay, so hope you are able to understand everyone. And if you have any questions, any doubts, so please ask, don't wait. So now inheritance is done here. So next we have polymorphism. So what is the polymorphism? Similar type of inheritance. This is a part of the OOPS concept. Okay. So polymorphism, basically this is the comes from the poly word. Poly means many. Okay. So if we have multiple names with the multiple method with the same name, right? Then this is the known as the polymorphism. So when we have multiple method with the same name, but their functionality is different. Okay, their functionality is different, then that is known as the polymorphism. So polymorphism is two types. One is the method overloading, second is the method overriding. Okay, so how many type of polymorphism? Two types. Method overloading, method overriding. This is a very important question, right? Method overloading as well as the method overriding. So polymorphism means one name in multiple form, that is known as the polymorphism. and it has two types. One is the method overloading, second is the method overriding. In the method overloading, we have multiple methods with same name. Like we have one method add, where I am adding two values. Okay, and then print result. This is one method. Same with same name, we can create one more methods, like another method here, integer a, integer b. Okay, then here a plus b. So I pass here the two parameters. We have already discussed about the methods. If you have a doubts, you can ask. Okay, but I'm not going to explain again this one until you will ask. So method, two methods created. In first method, it add the 10 and 20 and printed the result. Method name is add here also, and we have another methods add, where we are passing two values, variables as argument, and then adding both and printing the result. Next, we can create method with add, where we are passing three variables. Like integer, okay. Next, another method we are creating, public void add, here two string, f name, l name, adding both for full name and printing. Okay, you can see here method name is same like add in all the four cases. Next, we can public void add. Generally, method name we are creating with small. Okay, so just use the standard, because this is Java coding standard. We need to create a method with small letters, and we have here integer a plus, suppose that we have second argument is strings b, and here we can add a plus b. Okay, this is again add methods. So all these are methods are with same name, but what is the difference? Their argument is different. We cannot create a method same name with same number of argument, same argument, right? We cannot create, because this is duplicate. So duplicacy is not allowed. But we can create method same, but their argument is different. So this concept is known as the method overloading. So what is the method overloading? If we have in single class, if we have same method name, but their argument is different, this is known as the method overloading. Okay, if I will try to call the method, which method will invoke here? Let's see. So we have a test class. Let me comment this. So for multi-line comment, we need to use the slash and then star, and then where we want to close the comment, just use the star and slash. This is multi-line comment, and single line comment we can use double slash. Let's create an example. Object, then call the method obj dot. So if I will just call the add method, in this case, which method will invoke? Because there are 4 methods, right? Whose name is the add. 5 method basically. So which method will execute? So if we are not passing any value here, it means the first method will invoke where we don't have any argument. To 30. If I will call here and pass the 2 strings, like first is the Raj, second is Kumar. So in this case, which method will invoke? So we have one method where we have 2 arguments. This is the string argument. So this method will invoke and string of name and string last name. If I will pass here the 2 integer value, then which method will invoke? One, 10. So we have one method where we can pass the 2 integer value, right? So this method will invoke. So all these methods, which method will invoke, these are the decide at a compile time, right? Because here compiler know which method is going to call. If I will use here the different like add and passing here the 1 parameter, so this will compiler know this is not defined, right? So it will throw the error. So this is the compile time polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding. This is also known as the compile time polymorphism. So what type of polymorphism? Compile time polymorphism. So method overloading is also known as the compile time polymorphism, and this is also known as the static binding. Why this is known as the static binding? Because this is the static, not a dynamic. Okay, binding means relationship we are making at the time of static. This is not runtime, at runtime. Okay, so that's why this is also known as the static binding, compile time polymorphism, as well as the method overloading. So for the method overloading, what is the concept? Method overloading, we have one class within one class, we have multiple methods with the same name, with different argument. That is known as the method overloading. Okay, so do we have any example of method overloading? Yes, we have assert. Here we were using assert, right? If I will call here the soft dot assert, like assert equals, how many methods equal we have? Multiple methods. You can see all the method name is same, but their argument is different. If we are passing the byte, it will compare. If we are passing the characters, collections, doubles, right? There are multiple methods with the same name are available. So what is the benefit if we have multiple methods with the same name? So what is the benefit? Suppose that approximate there is 20 methods which are related to equals, right? But if you want to remember, how many methods you need to remember? How many names you need to remember? Only one, right? Assert equals, there is one method, their argument is different. So the main benefit here, we don't need to remember multiple methods. It will be very easy. We can remember only one name. So that's why in the TestNG library here you can see multiple methods with same names are there. Okay, what is the polymorphism? Polymorphism means multiple method name same, but their functionality is different. So one name, in short, you can say one name in multiple form. Multiple form means you can see here the functionality of each and every method is different. Here we are just bringing the 2 value. Here we are adding the 2 strings. Here we are adding 3 integer value. Here we are adding 2 integer, right? Here I added the strings and numeric numbers. So each method has a different functionality, but their name is the same. So this is known as the method of unloading, a file type algorithm, or static bind. Clear? Now, next, polymorphism example 2. Okay, suppose that we are going to define a child class. Like here, this polymorphism example 2 extends animal class. Okay, and here we define method with same name like run. Okay, here what we define, run method. So there is a chances what method is available in the common methods are available in the parent class. Child class don't need that. Child class need to implement their own method, right? Maybe there is a functionality is different, something is different. They don't want to use the existing method. Then child will create the method with same name, which name is available in the child class. The same name and same number of arguments. If we have two methods, one is in parent class and one is in child class with the same name, same number of argument, then both methods in child class method will override the parent class methods. Like example, okay, object 1 dot run. So now which method will invoke? The parent class method means method which are coming from the animal class, or the method which I define in poly example 1, 2. Which method will invoke? So let's see. We are getting child running. Why we are getting child running, not the run? Because now the child class method override the parent class method. So if I will call the child class method, if I will call the run method, it will run the child class method, not the parent class methods. So this concept is known as the override. Override means here child class override the parent class methods. Clear? When override will happen, if the parent class and child class method name is same with same number of arguments. If we have here animal blank animal, no argument, then we don't need to argument also here. So in that case, this is override. But if I will pass here any value, like I am passing here integer 1 parameters. So both animal and child class has with same name methods, but in the child class we have integer argument, in parent class we don't have. So now if I run this method, you will see it will invoke the parent class methods. Why the parent class method? Because there is no override. Child class has a different argument, different type of argument, and in parent class we don't have any argument. So child class will not override the parent class methods. When override will happen? When we have method with the same name in the child class as well as in parent class, same name as well as the same number of argument. child is running. So in that case, child class will override the parent class method. Now, what is the other things here? We have method overloading. This is also known as the runtime polymorphism. This is also known as the runtime polymorphism. Where this is known as the runtime polymorphism, because at runtime it will decide which method will call. Like example, you can see one more thing we can do. We can create a parent class object, like I give an example of the WebDriver, parent class variable, and you can store a child class object. Here we did. Yeah, created the WebDriver. This is a parent of a drivers classes. So created parent class variable and storing the child class object. Okay, so this we can do. It will support. Java will support. Means parent class object, reference variable we can create and store in child class object. Now, if we have created here object one, this is the animal class reference variable. Now object one dot run method call. If I go here, you will see it will jump into the animal class methods. So at compile time, compiler know this is coming from the animal class, but at runtime, what will happen? Let's see. At runtime, you can see we are still getting child running. So it means at runtime, it will decide which method need to call, child class method or parent class method. Because compiler don't know. Compiler is here giving suggestion to get the method from the animal class. If I will remove the method from animal class, you can see compiler is getting error. Right? Why this is giving error? Because this method should be defined in a animal class. Right? So because compiler is trying to call from here. But when we are running the program, okay, so this is known as the typecasting. We are typecasting the child class method into the parent class variable. So this is known as that's why this is known as the runtime polymorphism as well as the dynamic binding. Because at runtime this binding is happened. Okay, so now this is clear. What is the polymorphism? Polymorphism means one name in multiple form. This is known as the polymorphism. Okay, what is the polymorphism? Means one name in multiple form. This is known as the polymorphism. And in the polymorphism, we have two types. One is the method overloading. Second is the method overriding. Okay, what is the method overloading? If we have method name, same name, okay, in single class, if we have methods with the same name but different type of argument, different number of argument, different sequence of argument. Here different sequence means we are calling integer a, but here first calling the string, means providing the string. Different number of argument, here 3 argument, here 2 arguments, here 0 argument. So in that case, method is overloading. This is method overloading. Method overloading is also known as the compile time polymorphism as well as the static binding. Similar type, what is the method overloading? Sorry, method overriding. In method overriding, we have two classes. One is parent and child class. And we have method with the same name in the parent as well as the child class. Then child class will override the method of parent class. This concept is known as the method overriding. And method overriding will also known as the runtime polymorphism as well as the dynamic binding. Clear? Are you have any question?
Sadiq, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to leave. My son is not in a good shape.
Okay, it's okay, no problem.
Thank you.
So inheritance, polymorphism is done. It's discuss what is the inheritance. Inheritance is a concept by which one class can acquire the properties of another class. How many type of inheritance? Inheritance has 4 types. Okay, and how many types are supported by the Java? So 3 types is supported by Java. Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. Which one is not supported? So multiple inheritance is not supported. Why the multiple inheritance is not supported? Due to the ambiguity issue. Other things next, polymorphism. Polymorphism means one name in multiple form. This is known as the polymorphism. It has 2 types, runtime polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism is also known as the method overloading. A runtime polymorphism is known as the method overriding. In method overriding, you need 2 classes. One is the parent and child class, and you have method name with same in parent as well as the child with same number of arguments. Okay, so this is known as the method overriding. Okay, so now next is the encapsulation. Basically, encapsulation means this is the definition. Encapsulation means when we are comes from the word capsule, right? In capsule, what we can do, we can wrap up some medicine and put in a wrapper. That is known as the capsule. Similar type in the encapsulation, when we are wrapping the data and member in a single unit, that is known as the encapsulation. We have one class encapsulate. Like here we can define some members. So mostly member will define a private like string name, private string, roll number. Okay, so 2 variables I defined here. Similar type we can define more variables, right? And then here we can define variables, means this is the data, and members we can define a getter setter method. Getter setter method we can generate directly from the Eclipse. So getter setter method, refactor, source. Getter setter method. There are 2 properties. Select this and click on generate. You will see public method is created for get name as well as the set name. Similar type get roll number, set roll number. So it means we are writing here data and members, variable and method. So variable we cannot call directly in any class because this is defined private. Okay, it can access only within the class. If we want to call them, get the data and set the data, we can use these getter setter methods. So what is encapsulation? Wrapping the data and member in a single unit is known as the encapsulation. And this is the one example of the encapsulation where we can create a private variables, okay, and then we can create a getter setter method to store the and get and set the values. Okay, so next is the abstraction. What is the abstraction? Abstraction is basically hiding the information and hiding the implementation and solving the functionality. Like when we are using the car, right? So we have steering, okay, we have clutch and brake. But how this is working, how this is implemented, we don't know. Okay, because that is hidden. We can see only the handle, okay, clutch, brake, accelerator. These options we can show. But how the implementation is internally, how that is implemented, we don't know. We know only the uses. Similar type if we are talking about the switchboard, right? How the wires are connected internally, we don't know. Okay, only we know there are some buttons. If we press, it will work on and off wise, right? So anything, any functionality, if that is what, how that is implemented, that is hidden. We show only the functionality, how that will work. Okay, then this concept is known as the abstraction. Abstraction means hiding the implementation, showing the functionality only. This is abstraction we can achieve in Java by using two ways. One is by using abstract class. Abstract class. Second, by using interface. So two ways we can achieve the abstraction in Java by using abstract class, and second by using interface. Okay, so now let's discuss first today on the abstract class. What is abstract class? Okay, so any class which we are going to define by using the abstract keyword, this is known as the abstract class. If we define any class if we are creating any class by using the abstract keyword, then this is known as the abstract class. What is the abstract class? If we created any class by using abstract keyword, then this is known as the abstract class. If we are creating a abstract class, we cannot create object. It means abstract class cannot instantiate. You can see getting there. Cannot instantiate the type AB. Why the AB? Because this is the abstract class. Abstract class object we cannot create. Okay, then how we will use the abstract class? If we are not able to create the object, then it means we cannot use. No, we can use. How we can use? By using inheritance. So let's create AB child, and then extends AB. Okay, so now AB child can extend the in abstract class. So abstract class, you can see here A symbol is added. So any class which is defined by using the abstract class, okay, the abstract keyword, that is known as the abstract class. So can we create object of abstract class? No, we cannot create object of abstract class. If we are not able to create object of abstract class, then how we use that? Okay, so we can use by using the inheritance. Like I created one child class and then I am using inheritance. Okay, so now what is the difference between abstract class and normal classes? So first thing, classes should define by using the abstract keyword, and a class, abstract class, can contains abstract method as well as the non-abstract methods. In abstract class, what we can do, we can create abstract method and in normal methods. Normal method we have already discussed, but what is abstract methods? So a method which has only the signature, there is no body, that is known as the abstract methods. Like we created one method, public void id. This is only the signatures. There is no, okay, public abstracts. It needs to define by using abstract keyword. A public abstract method name without the body. If we have any methods which is defined by using the abstract keyword, it has only signature, there is no body. This is known as the abstract method. Okay, what is abstract class? A class which is defined by using the abstract keyword, that is known as the abstract class. Abstract class object we cannot create. Then how we will use? We will use abstract class by using inheritance. Clear? This is clear? Now, in abstract class, we can use both type of method, abstract method as well as the normal method. So what is the normal methods? What is the abstract methods? A method which is defined by using the abstract keyword. There is only signature, not implementation. This is known as the abstract method. There is no body, right? Here body will define like this, curly brackets and then. So if we are using abstract method not has its own body. Then where we will define the body of the methods. So we will define the body of the method in the child class. You can see there is one method which is not implemented, that is abstract methods. So that's why we are getting here the error, because now it's the responsibility of the B class, child class, which need to implement the body of add methods. Okay, in the B methods, in the AB in class, I just defined the abstract method. But where we need to implement the methods is where we will provide the functionality. We will provide the functionality in a child class. Okay, so what is abstract class? A class which is defined by using the abstract keyword, that is known as the abstract class. In abstract class, we can create both type of method, abstract method as well as the non-abstract method, is normal methods. What is abstract method? A method which is defined by using the abstract keyword. There is no body, only the signature. That method is known as the abstract method. So now you can understand why we are not able to create the object of abstract class, because abstract class contains incomplete methods. Incomplete method means abstract methods. So like suppose that if Java allowed to create the object of abstract class, and if we try to call the add method, what will execute? Nothing, right? It will give us the nothing will execute. So that's why in the Java, this is completely removed to create the object of abstract class, because there is some method which is incomplete, right? A user don't know, right, which method is completed or not. So in that case, it will not allow. Okay, so what is abstract method? A method which is defined by using the abstract methods. There is no body, right? No body, only the signature. This is known as the abstract methods. Okay, now can we create? This is mandatory to put the abstract method in a class. In abstract class, no. If you have a abstract class, it's not mandatory to create abstract method. This is no need. Okay, there's no need to create a abstract method in a class, in abstract class. But if we have a single abstract method in a class, any class, then that class must be in abstract class. If we have only single method in abstract class, in any class, right, normal classes, then we need to define that class as a abstract class. So one side, this is not mandatory to create abstract method in a abstract class. Note, this is not mandatory. You can put all the method as a normal methods, or you can put all the method as abstract method. You can mix up both, okay? Anything you can do. But if you define any methods as abstract method in a class, then that class must be abstract class. Okay. In the abstract class, we can achieve the abstraction from 0 to 100%. How many percentage we can achieve the abstraction in Java? Zero to 100%. How the 0 to 100% means? Here, if I define, where is the if I define all the methods here as abstract methods, then how much percentage we have abstraction? 0%, right? 100% means all the methods are hidden. There's no implementation. This is 100% abstraction. And if I created here one method as a normal method, one is the abstract method, then 50-50, right? 50% abstraction we have, 50% implementation. If I remove this, then this is 0% abstraction because there is no abstract method. So this is 0% abstraction. So in the Java, we can achieve the 0 to 100% abstraction in abstract class, and 0 to and 100% abstraction we can achieve in the interface. Okay, so we will continue in the next session, next weekend, we will continue again, what is the interface, what is the abstract class, means abstraction portion I will repeat and continue. Okay, so we have few minutes left. If you have any questions in Selenium WebDriver or in the Java, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know.
So that we can't put argument in the abstract method, right?
Yeah, we can put any type of method we can define, but only here we need to define the abstract method with abstract keyword. There is no body. But if I am defining here, then this method we need to override in the child class. Here we need to pass the integer. Otherwise, method will not override. Right?
Yes.
So we can define any number of argument you can pass, right? But your method should not contain any body. So this is the abstract method. Where is the implementation? Implementation we will do in child class. And in Java, in Selenium WebDriver, you can see there is some interface, some interfaces as well as some abstract class. So let's see. This is also Chromium. Yeah, this is normal class. WebDriver is the interface. And we can see there is a lot of methods are available. This is the abstract methods. And this is coming in the interface. So next session, we will discuss how we define abstract method in interface. So all these are abstract methods. In interface, don't need to mention the abstract and public. By default, all the method which we are defining, this is public and the abstract methods. Okay, any other question? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we can wrap up for today's session. And also tomorrow I will give some assignment in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, and you need to complete the assignment on time and submit.
Sadiq, are we gonna discuss Cucumber? Like, are we gonna cover Cucumber or?
Yeah, as of now, like that is not mentioned in the syllabus, but yes, if we get time, we will discuss. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
If you are talking about the syllabus wise, right? In syllabus, this is not mentioned, but we will go with the Cucumber also.
Yeah, thank you. Because I
Okay.
didn't see any, yeah, it wasn't mentioned in the syllabus, so.
Yeah, that is mentioned, but we will go. Don't worry. That's why I told like syllabus is just a subset, right? We are covering a lot of things. We will cover maybe GitHub, okay. REST assured library we will also discuss for the API testing. Cucumber we will discuss, right? And once we move into the interview level, right, where we are going some more topics. But if we want to go in the interview level, like next level, then that is not paid, that is free, that is additional thing we are providing. But in that case, you need to give the mock interview. If you are okay, what topics we have discussed, like Selenium, Java, TestNG, right? And we are also comfortable. Like, if we put some effort on you, and then you will try to understand and get the job. But if this is core Java, you are not working hard, and your Java core concept, what we are discussing last 1 month, 2 months, this is not clear. It means you are not putting effort. Then if we go some more thing, additional thing, that will be not helpful, because that is only time wasting. So first, what we will do, first we will discuss, take the mock interview. If you are comfortable, all the topics, right, all the concept, what we discuss, then we go with the next levels. That is additional thing, that is not part of the training, right?
The mock
So,
interview.
sorry?
When will you get the mock interview? After
Mock,
Java?
yeah, after the session is completed. Because once the session is completed, maybe when we are reaching at the end, right, we will start mock interview, where we will judge, right? Because it will take some time, 1-2 weeks, to judge, to understand, like all the students. And if then we will plan, we will set up one batch, few students who is good, who is able to answer what we are discussing, right? Then we will go in that level. We will start one more batch, and that batch will be the weekend batch, not the weekdays. Sorry, not the weekend, that will be weekdays. And that is totally depend upon your skill sets. How much you are learning, how much you are doing practice, you are completing the assignment on time or not. Because that is our company is providing you additional things, right? So when we will reach on that time, right, we will discuss in detail. But as of now, you can focus only the topics what we are teaching.
Okay, the
Do
API
assignment.
and
Mhm.
the API and TestNG, Selenium WebDriver, Java, core Java, right?
Yes,
Okay.
these 4-5 points is mandatory.
Okay, thank you.
Mandatory means as of now for the mock interview. But when we go with the interview preparation, right? So we will cover all those things: Git, Jenkins, Cucumber, REST assured, Selenium, Java, and agile process, a manual interview, mobile. We will discuss database. There is a lot of things we will discuss.
Database, sir, database testing.
Database testing only we are teaching here what is mentioned in syllabus. Additional topics I will also give some, like REST assured, Cucumber, but database, mobile, each and everything we will discuss in the interview preparation. For that, you need to give the mock interview. If you are comfortable, then we will go in that area. Okay. So when the times come, we will discuss in more detail. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Okay. So maybe our team will reach to you and give the more details, right? And then we will plan your mock interview and interview preparation. Okay. Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day. Bye.